I see the sun in the clouds. I see clouds in front of the sun and behind the sun. Let me zoom it a bit. This is a photo of the reality of the real world, done with a camera, Nikon P900. I think it's the P900. You can also do it with a P1000. So, wasn't it like supposed the sun to be in space at a distance of 93 million miles away or 150 million kilometers? Or is that just CGI images, computer generated images on a computer system? I don't know. Because like in this picture, which is the reality of the real world, apologies, a zoom with the Nikon camera P900 or P1000, and that's how the sun looks like. Of course, by now, I guess you understand what the sun is. Did you read the Vibes of Cosmos books? They're very easy to read. They've been around for years now, and they explain everything about the sun and the moon and space and the electromagnetism and everything. Everything is pure science and reality. But I always like to just show you pictures that cause cognitive dissonance for people. And then, of course, you ask uncomfortable questions. I mean, for some people, these questions are uncomfortable. For me, they're just marvelous, impressive, plus ultra, as we say. The questions of the reality of the real world. Human beings ask questions. Men and women ask questions. And when you see the reality, those questions get answers, real answers. If you read the Vibes of Cosmos books, and I have to say a huge thank you to Vibes of Cosmos. I mean, I've never met him or them, but just by reading the books, I know you just like leave ignorance and you live in the reality of the real world and you understand everything about everything, and it's so amazing once you wake up from the illusion and from what we call the matrix, right? And this whole thing system of indoctrination that we had to believe based on computer generated images and theories. I prefer the reality of the real world, and I prefer real photos, and I prefer real science, and I prefer electromagnetism, and I prefer, well, how the earth actually is and what the sun actually is. And that's not the thing we see there is not at a distance of 150 million kilometers away, and it's definitely not a sphere of lava or fire or like hot stuff. Everything is electromagnetic energies and forces. See you in the next video.